Hey Gems, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Gems, we have the underworld, the mountain, the maiden, the womb, and the eternal child. Gems, I mean, I feel like you guys have been coming out of just kind of like this toxic environment, unhealthy situations, like low vibe mentality type of energy. And like while you're going through that, you're trying to like also go within and discover your own personal value because like I like the analogy of people being like snowflakes, right? Like they're like no two people are alike. And that's what creates value. You know what I mean? Like that's why diversity is so important because everyone has something different to bring to the table, right, Gems? And I feel like for a lot of you, there's just been this idea, and this is not a Gemini thing, just BTW. Like, this isn't everyone on the face of the planet ever, especially modern society, but we are taught to identify ourselves through external environments, right? I graduated from this school, I worked at this job, like da 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 da. And then we assess one another according to that like predetermined value system that we adhere to, which is like so conveniently detrimental. You know what I mean? Like, because it's convenient to be able to identify ourselves through external factors, but it's so detrimental to like our individuality and our growth as like a society because we are taught to mentally block things that are different, right? It's just like something that's ingrained from day one. You go to school, you walk on the right hand side of the hallway, like you sit at the desk, whatever, like you like adherence. You identify through your teachers, you identify through your school, like your mascot, your team. Like we identify through all of these things. And you've been caught in an identity that you haven't really enjoyed. And so you've been really trying to, like go within and find your own value, which is wonderful, Gems. I'm sorry, I feel like that was kind of a tangent, but whatever. The maiden, the womb, and the eternal child. Whatever it is that I don't know if you're trying to create it or if you're going toward it. We'll do more clarifiers, but there's a level of curiosity and like a sweet trepidation. You know what I mean? Like when you see a little kid just peeking out, you just want to be like, hi. You know what I mean? Like, Gems, I feel like you're like a little kid peeking out just to see if it's safe, right? Because there's something that you want to do, but I feel like there's just this, even when we are in the process of discovering our own personal value, like just because it's valuable to us doesn't make it valuable to other people, right? And here's where I think so much of the world's issues lie is that, like I can acknowledge that my gifts don't align with other people's gifts and I can decide to move in a different direction. And because I've decided to move in a different direction because the ingredients don't match, then somehow it means that I think these people are bad or I think that they're, whatever. And you're just kind of like, wow, well, that's not really where I was going with that. But like, that's what happens sometimes. And so I feel like there's just this fear that you're going to present your value and that it will not be viewed as valuable to like the people you want to value it the most, right? So there's like this fear and like this little trepidation. And I guess I would say, like that's part of the journey of understanding our value, right? Because we can gain an awareness of it, but that doesn't mean that we understand it. And I feel like when you're understanding your value, you go through that process of like, where does it fit? Why does it fit there? Like you have to kind of explore that avenue because it doesn't fit everywhere and it's not for everyone. And it's, you know what I mean? card. Six of Pentacles. It's time. It's time to come out from around whatever corner you're peeking at. You know, like it's time to trust in your value. It's time to test the limits of what community can look like for you. Again, that idea of like peeking out and like, what does this community look like, and what is this, you know, like just kind of like, will this be a good fit now that I'm trying to fit with myself instead of fit with the idea of value that I was carrying previously. The Ace of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. I mean, yeah, again, it's just this idea of like having to part ways with an idea of external value because it's not where your value lies. Working on yourself and discovering the truth of the value that you have, and wanting to take that value and go in a direction that I think just feels really safe to you. I don't get the feeling that the trepidation that you're experiencing comes from any negative place. You know what I mean? It's almost just like this, like, I'm excited to go play. Will I be able to go play? Right? Like Geminis, I like always get a playground with you guys. But y'all are so playful, you know what I mean? And so it's just kind of the idea of like wanting to go and play, knowing like, okay, I'm a great, kicker, batter, pitcher, whatever, like pick a position on a team. And now that I know that my value comes from my skill and not my team, I want to go and try out for this team. And I feel like there's this idea of like, I know that if I get on this team, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna do great. This is gonna da 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 da. You know, like all of the things that you guys think about. But like, you still got to try out for the team, and you're just like nervous about it. You got this, Gems. You're good. Okay. What else can we get for my gems? The Moon. The Eight of Wands. The Hermit and the Four of Wands. I mean, anytime you've pulled away and you've kind of really worked on your own self-development, there is a factor of having to really like allow your intuition to lead you as you exit a state of isolation, right? Like when you're re-engaging with people. When you're starting to have conversations again. I mean, like, I don't know, like recently I was considering, you know, doing something where I knew I was going to be putting myself in an environment that wasn't one that I was necessarily going to be in agreement with, just like culturally. But just kind of felt like, you know, it'll be fine. You know, like as long as I know that I have like core people who aren't of that mentality. But I very quickly realized that like you are what you eat, right? Like you're comfortable with like what it is that's going on around you. And so, you know, like if you're in a part of the country that is just very politically like conservative and religious and patriarch, you know what I mean? Like it's only natural that those mentalities will just creep out and you won't even see it, right? Or same thing, like if you're on the West Coast and you're like in Portland and everybody's super liberal and you know what I mean, and like to the point where like they spew rhetoric that you're like, do you have a concept of like the rest of the world, you know, like outside of your utopian like ideology, right? Because like the practice isn't there, so like what is it exactly that you're talking about, you know? But I mean, like it doesn't matter what political spectrum, you know, or if it's a religious spectrum, but like that's all to say that like we are greatly affected by our cultural environments. And when we are greatly affected by our cultural environments and when we seek to exit those environments and enter into new ones, sometimes we just say shit that's like, why did I say that? You know what I mean? Like, why? Like, now these people think I'm ignorant, or now these people think this, and this. And then we get in our heads and we like throw ourselves out, like off. And it's just kind of like this. I feel like you've kind of been in your head and you've been afraid of like sounding stupid, sounding ignorant, sounding whatever. You know what I mean? And you're like having to really follow your gut, like to make the decision to move in the direction that you're wanting to go. Because I feel like it's one of those, I feel like rip the Band-Aid off. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like, don't sit there and pick at it and peel at it, right? Like, and then complain about how it hurts the whole time. Just rip the bitch off, you know what I mean? And be on your way. Like, but I feel like you're getting to that state, but like you're just kind of having to go through this like mentality of just a little bit of nervousness, just jitters, like first day jitters type of energy. But you're going in with a better understanding of your own personal value. The shaman is the idea of releasing hold of one idea or one way of being, and allowing for the development of a greater sense of being. It's a fuller experience. And I feel like that's just like this in a nutshell, right? Like you've figured a lot of things out. You're having a better understanding of yourself. You have something that you really want to do. You're feeling really nervous about it because you just don't want to come off as any type of way. And so, like you're having to really kind of like just read the room. Trust your ability to read a room, right? If your intuition is like, this isn't right, trust that. If your intuition is like, yes, this is amazing, trust that. You know what I mean? Start to trust your own voice. Start to rely on your own inner guidance. And when you do, I think you'll find that it's very easy for you to move very quickly. Like, I feel like just like this smooth transition. That's very easy. I don't know, like I feel like it comes with a sense of ease. Almost like, whoo, I hyped myself up for nothing. That was like, you know what I mean? But anyways, I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.